We are live.
We're back again. We took a couple of week hiatus, but we're back. What took us so long?
Excuse me. Well, it was a combination of, you had the holiday week, and our buddy old pal here, he went to California for what was it, like 3-4 days?
Yeah.
He got that's a long weekend trip. We're talking cross country for a weekend. That's a lot of time in the air. You're almost in the air as long as you're there.
It's kind of true. I actually missed my flight on the way back.
That's terrible.
So I was supposed to have a flight at 2 o'clock on the Monday after that weekend, but I got there at like 12, and I tried to check in, but it said there's no flight available for you. So I was really upset about that. But then apparently the flight was rescheduled to earlier that morning. I told the people at the front desk, and thankfully they were nice and gave me the next flight out, and a better flight too. It was a nonstop flight. So
you had a layover?
I had a layover. So
ultimately you saved time.
Yeah.
Wow.
By being late.
Right place, right time, huh?
But thank God for the JetBlue employees. So
hey, that's a shout out to them.
But yeah, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. Can't complain. I went to my girlfriend's house, and they always do a great job over there. A lot of great cooks over there. It's you'll never find food you don't like. You'll get food that you think you don't like, and you'll like it.
Turns out you like it. Like what? What kind of food?
What kind of food did I see there that I thought I wouldn't like that I ate? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
That doesn't. For me, there's nothing there I don't think I'm gonna like. But what I like there is her mother makes a great corn dip. I like the corn dip. You can have it. You can have it with some chips, or you can just throw it right on the Thanksgiving meal. Have it next to your mashed potatoes or something, and that's a good dish right there.
Do you like that more than stuffing?
No. You know me well. Yeah, that's by far my favorite. Stuffing. I'd have stuffing on a Tuesday in July. It's the best.
I don't like it when there's cranberries and stuffing though.
Yeah, people gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, that's a little bit sadistic.
There's a place
at a time.
There's a place in New Hampshire, the 104 Diner in I don't know what town it is, but it's almost like an everything diner. You can pretty much get whatever you want there. You go in, it looks like a 1950s breakfast diner, but then you go in and they'll serve you drinks there if you want. But what they have that I love is they have a Thanksgiving sandwich that they have year round, and it is spectacular. And
it has stuffing in it.
Oh, you bet.
Turkey.
You bet.
Turkey, cheese, stuffing.
Turkey. It has. You know what? Now that you're saying it, they do throw the cranberries in there. Now that you say that, but I don't hate it on that though.
Why?
Because it's the perfect ratio. It's not too much.
What about oatmeal raisin cookies? Do you do that?
I mean, if there's options, it's not going to be my first choice.
Right.
But that's another thing I like. You get spoiled over at my girlfriend's house. She has these truffles that her mother makes, and they're like the best thing you'll ever eat in your life. They're just absolutely spectacular. They're like my favorite thing on the planet.
I'll have to try it.
They are out of this world.
What does that even mean, a truffle? I don't even know if I know what that.
I don't know what it means either, but it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
I
don't know what deems a truffle.
Yeah.
I don't. Where's the line?
It's a better.
It looks like a chocolate.
Right. It just seems like a better word for thing to eat. It's like that's a truffle, but it doesn't actually mean anything.
It's like an upper status chocolate.
Right.
And it's like it tastes like it's upper status. I'll tell you what.
Right.
Yeah. So what'd you get on your Thanksgiving? What'd you eat? Anything that's out of the norm?
I ate stuffing too, but it had cranberries on it, so I was a little bit disappointed about that. You took a pass. But overall, it was great. Had meatballs, and my uncle Ronnie brought over the meatballs, so I was like instantly he's Meatball Ron now, of course.
What did Uncle Paul bring?
Uncle Paul, he brought salad. He always brings the salad. he's good at bringing salad. What else? A lot of desserts, apple pie. Oh, so it was we kind of celebrated my uncle and my brother-in-law Kevin's birthday, and we got them a cake. But apparently, we got them the wrong cake.
Oh no, you can't do that.
It was still amazing though. It was like this 5-layered cake. It was probably some guy named Eugene who had a birthday around Thanksgiving too, but we had it for our Thanksgiving, so we appreciate your sacrifice, Eugene.
What do you mean? What did it like? What? So like you're saying you got someone else's cake?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying they made it wrong. Oh no, so you got someone else's cake.
Yeah. We accidentally got somebody else's cake.
Somebody else saw Happy Birthday Paul. Or
Right.
not Paul. Wait, was it Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, Paul and Kevin.
Paul and Kevin, yeah.
Did it say Paul and Kevin on the cake?
No, it didn't, but that would have been funny.
So everybody won then.
Yeah.
Everybody won.
I'm sure it was a great cake that they originally planned
Yeah.
for Paul and Kevin.
Yeah. Well, we're also nearing the Christmas season as well. Did you do anything in that neck of the woods, or did you not do that yet? Because I don't waste any time. I don't waste any time. Black Friday, I have my tree.
Yeah, you did. You had a colorful tree up. It switched colors, which is kind of cool.
See if I can get it on the camera.
You're gonna show the people.
I'm gonna try. See if.
But yeah, we got our Christmas decorations up. We started watching some Christmas movies.
Look at that. Look at it. Like the whole frame is red because of the lights. We gotta get a different topper. The topper it needs to light up.
Right, that's what you wanted to get at Walmart just now.
Yeah. I'll be doing that later at like 10 o'clock tonight. I'll go to the Walmart near my house.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my girlfriend's fault. She bought it, so I'm gonna deflect blame.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
That's a sign of
Yeah.
a good relationship right there. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we should dig into our usual topics.
Yeah, we're just doing a soft landing into that.
Yeah, so we're finishing up a project right now. We still can't talk too much about it.
I don't think we'll be able to talk about it till like January.
All right, so we'll talk about it in January.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's not like this super hoity-toity thing. But
I mean, it is for the people that we're doing it for.
Yeah, but I mean, like in the way that like it's not like a military secret. But I feel like
It kind of is right now. It kind of is.
But yeah, I mean, we're working on a project, and we've been working really hard on that. Anthony, especially, he's been working like 12-hour days trying to get this thing done.
I did a 13-hour day before Thanksgiving because I did not want to work during the Thursday, Friday, Saturday stretch. I was like, Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. Right. I'm gonna milk it all the way to Sunday, and then Monday we're back in action. And the plan was that by Monday I'd be able to just export everything out, and it has worked that way. So everything worked out, but yeah, it took a lot of editing, and specifically that Monday especially was I worked 13 hours that day, and try to stay a steady 8 hours, but sometimes those holiday weekends, if you don't want to hate yourself on like the Friday after Thanksgiving, you just suck it up for a few days and then you enjoy the week,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, you got to rest up before you get back into hard work.
Yeah.
I feel like today was a day where we jumped back into it and really were thinking about our strategy for the upcoming week and the upcoming month.
Right. Yeah, we got a job in a couple days. You said on Thursday.
Yeah, we're doing a shoot on Thursday, and we're looking forward to that. We had that planned out like a month or so ago, so we'll be going there. We don't have the exact time yet. We'll be going there and taking these lights, going to shoot an interview type thing, like a little short film, 2-minute thing where we're gonna, ask the person some questions, get some B-roll, and then we'll cut it together, make it look nice, add some music to it, and I always love doing those, just like
Absolutely.
a nice little short film, and it's something to keep the filmmaking muscles challenged and to help you to connect with some new people. So I always enjoy doing those.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's someone that neither of us have met before, right?
No, I haven't met this guy before.
That'll be cool.
But it's Francis who's connecting us with him. So
right. Well,
and yeah. So looking forward to that. And then we've got Nathaniel doing a lot of stuff.
Trying to
wanna
get
talk
him
about
on the
that?
show. He's
Yeah, we'll
so
get him on
busy.
the show next time.
No, for sure. I really want him to come on the show. He has a lot of information to share. He could do the podcast by himself. I mean, it's funny because he's just so straight and to the point, though. So it's like he'll give you a lot of information, but all the ums and likes and all that you don't get that with him. He's just like this, that. Goodbye. In a good way. You know, he's a great guy, but he's really good at what he does.
He's got some good meetings going on this week. He's been able to get in-person meetings.
He has with some legitimate companies, so we're excited about that. And, you know, it's kind of like you can tell he's kind of knocking on the door, and you can tell he's going to break through one of these times.
I really don't know what kind of wizardry he's enacting on these people.
It doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't.
He might be Harry Potter because it's tough to get meetings, let alone in-person
tough to
meetings.
get people to spend 30 seconds of their time with someone that they don't know.
Yeah.
Never mind booking meetings and having full-fledged conversations with these people. And, you know, I've known Nathaniel. We have both known Nathaniel our entire lives. He was kind of in there with us through pre-K all the way to now.
Mm-hmm.
The only time we all split up was high school. Other than that, we've all been in contact, and he's very good at selling. He's just a good communicator. He knows what to say, and I think I brought this up before, but I didn't say his name. It is Nathaniel. He was the coach for one of our clients who did axe throwing. He wanted to be a part of it, and so he wanted to be the axe throwing coach. And there was a point in time where the axe throwing was at a fair, and so he was there for the duration of it. And you could see firsthand the skills that this guy has. There'd be people walking by that didn't have any interest in throwing, and he'd somehow, some way get them to turn around and at least consider it, and at least turn around and open themselves up to be persuaded. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like
every once in a while he would throw in a discount that doesn't
I was just going to
exist.
get to that. And
But
that
it worked.
And that's that exact thing you're talking about is why I wanted him to work with us. He was doing this thing at the fair where you'd be counting the money and you'd go, well, this doesn't add up correctly. We only have like $5 and $10, but there's $7 here, there's $2 here, there's $1 here. And I'm like, how are you? What's going on? He's like, oh well, you know, it's like, what was it, like 5 throws for $10 or something like that. He's like, oh well, you know, people wanted to do one throw. Well, give me $2, I'll let you throw it once. I'm like, what a great idea. He's like, yeah, it's $2 more than we had before. It's just if it whatever got them to turn around and give him a couple bucks, he was doing it. And so that's a skill that I really want him to expand upon here. We will get him here. He will, whether he likes it or not, he will be here.
Yeah, he's been wanting to come on the show for a couple of weeks now, so I'll want him on. And we I don't think we've really expressed this too much, but we're really interested in starting to have more guests on the show too, because we want to open up the conversation. And so if anybody listening is interested in talking on the show, either about just, you know, what we're doing here, or like media or business or movies, anything related to that, we'd love to have you on. We'll figure out a way to get the Zoom set up. Right. And, you know, we like to have the podcast pretty well shot. So, I mean, we'll do the best we can with that. But yeah, I think we're looking forward to using this to not only just like talk about what we're doing, but to try to promote, you know, the normalcy of doing something like this. You know, I think with social media, it's opened up the possibility of, you know, doing business with media in a way that's more approachable to, you know, people that are our age. And, you know, I think it's provided a lot of thrills for us, a lot of ups and downs, but it's, I think overall just a lot of fun. And we love to share this experience with all of you, and then if you guys have similar experiences to us, we'd love to hear those as well. And yeah, I don't know. Is there anything, just to throw a question out there, that you found remarkable this past week, either about like AI or something about movies or business?
I don't think I talked about this last time. I was just thinking about something I saw going through LinkedIn. Did you see that the creators or the developers of ChatGPT? It's a B, not a P, right?
It's a P.
Is it a P?
It is.
All right, ChatGPT. I always
I've
mess
noticed
that
that
up.
you spell that
Because I just mess it up.
ChatGPT.
I mess it up every time because I got committed to the B.
You
I
did.
committed to it. And
I've
it's
seen,
like I didn't want to go back.
I've seen your Google searches.
I didn't want to go back.
It always says B.
Well, do you see the developers of ChatGPT? They were like threatening to. I think they were threatening to go on strike.
Yeah. So
Did you see what that was about?
Yeah. So what happened was they cast out the CEO, Sam Altman, because they said that he lacked candor, I guess, and
Okay.
they didn't really tell anybody about this, not the employees, not Sam, not Microsoft, one of the biggest shareholders,
Right.
until like a day before.
How is that possible?
They cast him out, and then everybody's like, what the heck? Why in the world did you just throw him out? We all love this guy. And so I think like 90% of the employees threatened to leave if he didn't come back.
They sent out a formal letter and they made it public.
Yeah, and then Microsoft was threatening to pull out of the whole situation, and then I guess
that guy didn't come back.
and then OpenAI hired a new CEO, and then Microsoft hired Sam Altman. Was like, okay, we'll just come work for us,
Right.
And then OpenAI is like, okay, shoot, we made a huge mistake,
Yeah.
and so they just reversed their entire decision, brought Sam back, and now he's the CEO again.
But how can you do that if Microsoft already picked him up, or did Microsoft just agree?
I think they probably just
a
agreed
mutual
to
agreement.
it. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know all this
Interesting.
super specific
It's
details.
just like,
but
why would you try to go under someone's nose like that? And especially when you're a leader of an innovation. Really, that's what they are.
Yeah.
They're the leader of OpenAI. And you've got to say you have a good thing going is beyond an understatement. And you take who I'm assuming is the founder or one of the founders, and you cast him out without consulting your shareholders. That's just very irresponsible. So I'm assuming it just like the board voted him out. It's got to be something like that.
Yeah, I think it was. They said he lacked candor. I think was the official words they said. But I think what it really was fear, because they felt like, with AI being this very volatile thing that's exponential, and we don't really know how it's going to develop. I think they were thinking that maybe he wasn't being careful enough about it and realizing the harmful effects that it could have. So I think they just pulled the trigger really quickly and wanted to find somebody else who they thought would be a little bit more safe about it. I don't know. That's what I read into it. I don't know if that's 100% true.
No, I think it's kind of open-ended, and I think kind of what I take out with stuff like that, they clearly didn't want people to know about it, to do it like that. And I wonder if maybe that board, which is basically what you said, shared a common wants, whether it be whether it be something that benefits everybody or something that benefited them in the long run, or maybe they wanted someone that would just be more agreeable with the board in general. And obviously the shareholders wanted the other guy because they wouldn't have made such a big fuss about it. And obviously the employees like this guy. So in my head, I'm thinking, so like, was the board trying to go rogue and just put someone in there that would let them make the rules uncontested? You know what I mean? That's where my head goes.
Maybe they wanted to find somebody who was a little bit more controllable. I don't know.
Right, yeah. I mean, like a yes man, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, You never know. It could be really one of two things there. It could be either or. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All that fascinates me because
Yeah,
I think
really.
they are leading the charge on the next innovation
Absolutely.
of the world. Even as dramatic as that sounds, it's true.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, you think about it, it's like the last innovation in my head that I can think of that was this significant was the creation of the internet in general. Would you agree with
Yeah,
that?
I think this.
I mean,
I think it's the internet
in terms of
on-
potential, right?
I think it's the internet on steroids right now.
Yeah, my old marketing professor, she talked about Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0, and how we're entering Web 3.0, and how Web 3.0 is virtual reality and AI based, and it's all AI centric, and how Web 2.0 was pioneered by, was it Facebook? I want to say it was Facebook, and it was more of the social media, Instagram type concept. And do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever heard of this?
Maybe vaguely. I haven't
and
really heard it explicitly said.
It's basically just milestones of the internet. And so Web 1.0 is like the beginning, more of like the Y2J era per se, and then like I said, kind of the founding of Facebook was the second one, and then we're
So
kind
like
of
social media is 2.0. Basically.
yeah. Well, the version of social media that we know of, that we've experienced through our, I'd say, mid-teenage lives,
Right.
and now we're entering this virtual reality AI milestone, and we're crossing into a new path of what internet can be. And the reason that we had that course was to talk about how marketing will evolve and how old traits of marketing will phase out and new ones will come in, as many other industries. But as an industry that's so affected and goes so parallel with the internet, it's very significant. And so you have now this wild west of AI and virtual reality, and you have to go, okay, now how is this going to affect the marketing industry? And the answer, really, there isn't even a question, but it's all of the above. It's like every aspect is going to be affected. I mean, it's just something so massive that's going to change every corner of the internet. Because nowadays you've got kids just getting essays written for themselves in 2 seconds, and that's something that we'd get in trouble if we went on Wikipedia.
I know.
So it's
Yeah, I think things inevitably are going to change within. They're changing super fast, but I think to me AI is like, it's like the new calculator, right? Like,
oh yeah, you did, yeah.
we're still gonna in the future need to know how to write things. We're gonna need to know how to search things up, but this supercharged internet is gonna do just that. It's gonna supercharge the internet so that we can do things a lot quicker. Like, instead of looking at a map to try to decide where you're gonna go, now we have GPS.
Yeah.
And then instead of needing to think about like, okay, how am I going to structure this 3-paragraph essay? It's like, okay, how do I use this 3-paragraph essay and combine it with all of the other ones that have been written to find like what are the commonalities between the way that like certain cultures think about different things, and then how do we come to like a new answer from that?
It kind of seems like you're saying that it'll raise the knowledge floor, kind of like how a calculator raises it. And it's like you're in school and you think to yourself, well, I'm just going to use this as I'm going to use my calculator in the real world on this. If I'm trying to figure out whatever, I don't know, some equation, I'm going to use a calculator. So it's like this raises the floor of knowledge and also your floor of sources. Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's like, especially in the entertainment industry, we're really trying to figure out like how real people and real stories come into contact with AI. But I think it's like it's going to take some time, but inevitably we'll figure out like a good fusion between those. But it's, yeah, I don't know. It's weird though. Like some people, I think I heard that Elon Musk said that like he thinks that within 15 years we'll be like speaking telepathically to each other, like crazy.
What does
stuff.
that mean telepathically?
Like without even speaking to each other, like
so
we'll have some way to like communicate our thoughts.
like a chip in our head. That I mean, that sounds crazy, but I guess in the grand scheme of things, that really isn't. There'll be definitely people that go out and do crazy stuff.
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
I think that's what Neuralink is, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's something
that's above my head.
That's something that he's been working on.
I would be very uncomfortable putting
Yeah,
something like that on me.
I don't think I would. do that.
I don't think I would do that. It's not worth it.
Also, my battery is just about to die. Are we gonna go after this battery
We
dies?
have to go after the battery.
All
dies.
right, all right.
It hasn't been long. Yeah, no, it's only been like 20 minutes, right?
All right, yeah. Let's cut it real
All
quick.
right, we'll
It's
cut it.
been like
We'll be.
it's been like 40 minutes.
No, it happened. All right. What were we?
Okay, we're back.
What were we talking about?
What was it? We were talking about AI for a while.
We talk a lot about it, but
Raising the knowledge floor.
yeah. So I mean, we talk a lot about AI, but it's just because it's so massive. It's like I feel like every time you talk about it, there's something new going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I find it really fascinating.
nowadays
we were talking about Neuralink.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a lot of things I do before I put. It's like I don't want to sound crazy, but I guess the concept of it is crazy in itself. It's scary, isn't it? I mean, it's just I say that, but like 50 years from now, I'm sure everyone will have one, and they'll probably have. Not to say that it's not true. I wouldn't be surprised if it is true at some point where they're going to try to, give you health benefits from it. Where it's like, oh, it'll increase somehow your cardiovascular health. Or
I wonder how it's going to affect sports because I think
it'll
at some point
affect it a lot.
At some point it's going to be like steroids, right? It's like, is this a performance enhancing drug?
But
is
it's
this
probably
a performance enhancing technology?
Yeah, I mean it's probably going to be so. We're going to be. I think we're going to probably be so reliant on it at that point in our species where it's going to negatively affect you if you don't have one. And so I think the argument, if players unions still exist at that point where it's like, okay, our health is going to decline if we don't have it. I almost wonder if something like that, because there'll probably be so many benefits that it would negatively affect you if you didn't have one. Because I mean, it's crazy to imagine what will happen. I mean, I can't comprehend it. I mean, we'll be old farts by then. And,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all the youngins will have the chips in their head and will say, "No, don't do it! Don't do it!" So
Definitely
that's a tale as old as time. That new technology.
I feel like it only becomes more real as time goes on, though.
Yeah.
Because technology only becomes crazier and crazier.
Well, yeah. I mean, like the way things are going. Like, think about it. 100, 200 years in the future.
I think about that way too much.
If we have chips in our head like 20 years from now, what are we going to look like 200 years from now? Are we going to look
not
like,
only that,
like, are we going to be like these mechanical beings? I don't know.
Probably. I mean, where my head goes is how long will people live? They're going to add like 20 years to your life. I feel like. I mean, they very well could. It's like, where is that threshold? Because like if you look at it as the decades have gone, people do periodically live, or on average, they live longer, right? I mean, the average age has climbed. So I wonder what the threshold is to where I feel like it's going to jump another like 10 years, and where that threshold is. What year is that?
Right.
And I think probably around the year 2050, technology is just going to be stupid. It's going to be stupid. Like we're gonna be doing some crazy things. I really believe.
Yeah. I don't even.
It's
know what to think about that.
I don't know, but it's not far away. I mean, that's what 27 years from now.
Yeah.
So 27 years in the past was what? Do math.
That was 96.
What the heck? That's just
Older than us
not by a lot, though.
by a little bit.
By a little
Few
bit.
years.
A little bit, a few years. All right. Let's segue this into something else. One thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit, we'll just touch on it a little bit, is the job market today. And particularly, I'll just share my own experience and experiences of some people that I know, without name dropping, of course. But personally, when I graduated, I had a terrible time finding a job. And, I thought that coming out of school with a master's would all but guarantee me a job. I was obviously naive to think that, but I did. I thought that coming out with a degree, I'd be able to land something rather quickly. And I think a lot of other people share that opinion. And, obviously it depends on the on the type of job you're looking for. I'm sure it's different by industry. Some industries, I'm sure, are better than others in this type of thing. But it is a connection-based industry. It really our industry in particular, because even we are today building rapport, building connections, and that's the way it is a lot of the time. I'm sure there's other industries that aren't like that, but I think from what I've seen going across, I know somebody who's in the medical industry who worked for same company for a long time, has all the degrees, you name it, he's got it. And this person recently left their job after about 10 years of experience and can't find anything. And I was like, I get it. I know we can't relate on the industry, but it's like you come out and you think it's going to be a slam dunk, and it's like, wow, this is a lot tougher than I thought. And I guess I bring it up because I don't really understand why. And I think a lot of other people don't quite understand why. And I think it's, in some cases, you have an age gap where, we do live in a time now where everything's more expensive, interest rates are higher, it's harder to find a house, it's harder to get everything. Then you have your parents who got their house for a plastic cup of quarters, and then there's a gap of understanding there through experience, and it leads me back to the why. Why is that? Why do you think that it's just harder nowadays to find not just any job, and I'm not talking about some high status job either. I'm just talking about just getting in the door even. Now, perhaps for me it was a perfect storm because I was looking for internships like within months before COVID, and I joined this thing called the Internship Institute, where we were guaranteed an internship. It was an extra class, night classes, whatever. Let's do it. I'll get the internship. And it all got dropped because of COVID, so that, sucked. But we're on the other end of that now, so I kind of just feel like it should have come up for a lot of other people. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me and the people I know. Maybe we're all just very unlucky. Granted, everything does happen for a reason, and I do think that tough times make stronger people, and I think, everybody eventually rises out of it. But, again, to go back to the original question, I'm wondering if you have any information of why do you think that's the case? And I know it's hard for you to say because you had a connection, you got into a job rather quickly.
Yeah,
so you were lucky. You were one of the good ones.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with connections, like you were talking about. I remember thinking at the end of college, I'm like, how on earth do you even get a job? I have no idea how to do it. Now, I remember not being secure about being able to get a job in the way that I wanted to, making, like videos and making marketing content and being in the marketing field. I just didn't even know like if it was possible because people started to say that, oh, it's like a really tough market to get into. And I think that like, you kind of saw that firsthand. I fortunately had a connection with Josh, the founder of Plate Crate, and he had a spot open, and I just wanted to take advantage of that right away, and
Right.
it's been a great little gig for me, and I've learned so much from it. I think it might be because of that. Like, now people see that there's a lot of opportunity to make money in different ways, and I think that's why you see like Chipotle doesn't really have enough people to staff it in a way that, like, maybe 20 years ago there'd be a lot of people in there thinking like, okay, I got to get this job. But now I think a lot of people are in the hustle, kind of like doing what we do a little bit. It's like they're trying to be online and live out their passion, and to try to make money doing that. Of course, it's really difficult, but I think that, like, and also I think it might be because there's a lot of people growing up now that like there's got to be some sort of stat where people are finding jobs later, compared to how things were before. So I think it's probably a number of factors, but those are probably two big ones.
It's a perfect storm of a lot of factors. And I think what's interesting about what you said about Chipotle and other chains like that, I'm sure, is I think it's a pretty simple reason why they have trouble hiring. It's because those wages that come with that kind of position don't support the common person. The common person, unless you have no bills or any sort of debt whatsoever, you're going to be I mean, as I'd imagine, you'd be struggling to stay afloat. Just with the rent prices nowadays, and just trying to get a car and gas. I mean, everything, interest rates, everything's harder. And so I think people want to strive for more. People want to strive for more because people don't want to be uncomfortable. And I think the standard of being comfortable was lower years ago. It was, there was people that worked jobs like that they'd have a wife and kids and go on vacation once a year. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but you get the point. And so I think that's what I mean by the standard was a little lower of being comfortable. It's like the type of, it wasn't, you didn't have to strive as much. But then I think if you go a little bit further back, the Great Depression and whatnot, and, people were struggling back then, and the standard went much higher and people had to work much harder. And then that's when you had the boom. And, save you the history lesson. Not that I'm anybody that knows a whole lot, but, from what I understand, that's kind of a synopsis of it. And I think those are a few of millions of factors that go into it. But what I try to tell myself as I started this complaining session is try not, it's okay to maybe air things out every now and then, but at the end of the day, you come back to earth and you go, okay, look, hey, it is what it is. I'm in the situation I'm in, and I'm either gonna make water or make wine, and I think
and not whine about having water.
Not whine about how to see. Put that on a wall.
Put it on a T-shirt and sell it.
Laminate that. Do it right now.
Anyway, continue.
No, but I guess where I was going is situations are as they are, and ultimately, it's you can stand there and watch the ship sink, or you can try and bail out the water, not bail out. But yeah, so that's what I gotta say about that.
That's good. Yeah, and lastly, I just wanted to touch on this a little bit, just because I promised somebody I'd talk about this before the podcast was over.
The battery's going out. We gotta go. See ya. Bye.
No, but yeah, just because I noticed that we're
do your thing.
Kind of running out of time a little bit. But yeah, I sent this to you last night, and I know I've been talking about it every once in a while on social media, but I found myself in the Oppenheimer movie, which was
Oh,
kind of awesome.
That's pretty
Last
cool.
night, I've talked about this, that I went to New Mexico last year, and I it was kind of weird because when I went to go see the movie a few months ago when it came out in theaters with my family, it was a good time, but like it kind of moves very quickly, so you're not like in any one location for a while, so it was tough to be like, okay, is that me, is that not me? But there was one moment where like you can see the whole crowd. It's like a big slide through the crowd, and I found myself there. So like there was still like a little bit of doubt until I got like very very close to it. I'm like, okay, that's definitely me. But yeah, it just made me reflect a little bit, and I wanted to make a comment about that before I finally put that to bed, because I feel like I've been talking about that all the time. But yeah, it was. And I think it just brings me back to how it was when I was there, and like how it made me feel about like pursuing dreams of making movies at a big scale. It's like, once you get there, you realize that, even though like these people seem so like perfect when they're on screen, and they are to a certain extent because they're good at their jobs. It's a whole other thing when you see everything in process, and you see how everybody has to do the same things to get to where they are. Like, sure, some people are blessed with like, a particular sort of talent or particular sort of look that's going to help them to get to the next step, but then they've got all these other challenges that you are not even aware of, that they needed to get through in order to get to where they are. So I think it just gave hope that like, these things are possible, and I don't know, it just made me reflect on that a little bit.
it's great.
So
It's great. That was good. I don't know what to say to that. It was I was I
Thanks
was
for
I was
saying
I
that's
was
good.
just yeah. I'll give you this. I was just listening because I was wondering what you were going to say. 'Cause you were saying it's for someone.
yeah,
No, that's awesome, and I'm glad you found yourself on there. I hadn't yet seen the movie, so I feel like, honestly though, I'm glad that I now know where you are in it, because had I seen the movie before that, 1,000% all I would have been doing is looking for you, and it probably would have like I wouldn't have been paying attention to the movie as well.
right,
So now it's good. Now I know when to look.
yeah, and I'm hoping it wins Best Picture now, so my face can be in a Best Picture.
So if that happens, would you like get anything?
Would
out
I
of
be
that?
an Oscar winner?
I don't know. I mean, like,
No,
would you?
I don't think if you're an extra you would get any sort of recognition for that. But I mean,
Well, I'm not saying they're gonna like present you with the award. I'm saying
but technically, I would be in an Oscar.
even if you
movie.
just get an email, like congratulations, anything.
Yeah,
You get anything like a congratulations, maybe like
Yeah.
some confetti goes off when you open it.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe something like that will happen. We'll
Gold
see.
star.
Maybe
We made it.
Maybe I'll get like a 1 cent bonus.
Yeah,
we'll
there
see.
you go. There you go. It's still you'll get a bill.
Yeah, you got to pay for the Oscars for everybody else. But yeah, we can close it out there if you want to.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll
you
do
good with
it.
that?
It's up to you.
As always, let us know if you guys want to come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Next time we'll have somebody.
Yeah.
If-
It's hard to. Yeah,
Well,
I mean, it's
probably
like
Nathaniel.
Probably.
We'll have him on.
get them out here. Yeah, I mean, anybody that wants to be on it, this podcast goes on YouTube. It goes on Spotify. You can reach us in the comments. You could email us from if you want to go to radiantmediavideo.com. I believe if you scroll down to the bottom of the footer. I made the website. I should know this, but you have. I believe our emails are on the bottom. You can email us directly, either Anthony or Jesse at radiantmediavideo.com. You could even message the info one if you're feeling a little saucy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think that's all we got for you today.
All right, cool. See you guys.
All right, we'll see you later.